Hey everybody, so this is, we actually did a beginning at the beginning, and the SD card said error after we ate lunch here. And where is here? It is the Museum of, and I'm going to say it like your sister says, Appalachia.
It's Appalachia.
Yeah, so this museum, we're going to go check it out and follow us. So here we are. Welcome to the Museum of Appalachia. Really cool building. It's like in a barn. And the museum hours are 9 to 6. So let's go check this out. A quick little look before we go delving in. They have like a whole village here. And bunch of really cool animals. There's some horses up there, and we saw some peacocks walking around. They're supposed to have sheep. I know there's some goats and chickens, and there's one of the peacocks. Stephanie stealing peacock feathers. We won't call it stealing, seeing as the peacock just ripped them out. I don't know.
He just ripped them all.
Well, that's because they're pretty rough looking. Probably growing new ones. So they have a pretty cool little gift shop in here where they sell all kind of stuff, jellies and t-shirts and home decor stuff. And they also have a little restaurant, which Steph and I actually did eat at. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but the card in here in my camera took a crap right after we ate, so we lost all of the video up to that point. So we'll just have to fill you in on what we got and that kind of thing. But they have some really cool stuff.
I'd recommend the chicken salad.
We just had it.
Yeah, isn't it great?
We had it before we started our tour.
Oh, did you? Oh.
So this little tiny cabin, the man who owned this, he could stand in the middle of this cabin and stretch his arms out and nearly touch either side.
Yep.
And he's quoted as saying, "What more can a man want?" He had everything in here that he could ever want.
And it was Tom Cassidy. He was a musician from Union County, Tennessee. But that's a tiny house, folks. I know they try to push it like tiny homes or something new or something, but
Right.
This is a tiny home.
This map that they give you when you get your wristband also gives you a layout and a little description as you go. So that's really awesome, and that's what we'll be following. There we go.
Okay, the Gwyn Sharp Playhouse.
This playhouse was made by a little girl's father for her when she was 5 or 6 years old, and then donated to the museum in 2008 when she was 84 years old and legally blind.
Yeah, so all the parents out there, no excuse. Building your little girl playhouse. Here's the Hall of Fame.
I'm going to read this, what it says. It says, "Pictured here are my friends, the warm, happy, and independent folks of Southern Appalachia. They are my people and the people I love, and it was because of them and hundreds like them that I started this Museum of Appalachia. And it is to them that this Hall of Fame is dedicated. John Rice, Irwin." Every face tells a story.
Yep. So of course Stephanie loves this.
Oh, it says it's a highly decorated walnut writing desk and was made and used by Thomas Dagley, who lived in Jacksboro in Grantboro community of Campbell County, 15 miles north of this museum.
And then we got some contemporary Cherokee baskets in here.
The craftsmanship is amazing and beautiful. This very large section is dedicated to the Cherokee.
Yep. And then there's this Indian stone head, which is about the coolest thing I think I've ever seen.
It says it's probably the rarest artifact here in the museum.
I've never seen one of those before.
Came from Sevier County.
And some of the pottery. I know Stephanie saw the pipes.
Yep. I have an affinity and collect pipes.
Arrowheads. Some other random.
Bead making.
Yep, that's pretty cool. And some other baskets.
I wonder if that bark basket wasn't used to carry their arrows
I don't know.
of water.
Indian cooking stone's pretty cool. I can say I never saw one of those either.
Pestle and mortar.
So here's some unusual and miscellaneous Indian artifacts.
Stones.
Game stones.
Wow.
Yeah.
Marbles. Clay marbles.
A paint cup.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
Goodness. Bullet molds.
Yep. There's a fish hook made out of bone. So this here, perpetual motion machine, is actually designed to run forever. It's supposed to produce its own power, and
the inventor, Asa Jackson, apparently kept it in a cave hidden during the Civil War.
yeah, so if we want to go green, I mean, if this like legitimately works, this might be the answer to going green. Cool little toys and stuff.
There's a circus train that was made by a 7-year-old.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
He completed it in 3 years. Just a side note that every artifact in here has a backstory, and it's
Yeah.
well documented by who donated it and where it came from. It's
Yep.
a wonderful museum.
And that's like this painting here. There's a tragic story, well, tragic and loving story of little Ida Banks, which, if you want the whole story, you're just gonna have to come here and
Come visit.
Yep.
Read it for yourself.
I can't do all the work for you. But that train is pretty cool, isn't it? And then we got Dr. Andy Osborne's Medicine House.
He ministered to the sick and dying all his life, night and day. And when he died, the preacher who conducted the funeral had to furnish him a suit for his own burial.
And here we go.
These items belong to the Rice family, the founder of this museum, who did all the collecting.
Pretty awesome. And then here's somebody that a lot of people will know, Roy Acuff.
Does anybody know that he ran for governor?
I did not. They're pretty cool. And
He's
there's
a Grand Old Opry singer.
there is his fiddle. This is pretty awesome. Yep, so here's the first radio station. Knoxville's in Tennessee's first radio station. WNOX, Midday Merry-Go-Round.
Very good, honey.
Well, it was all right. I probably could do better. But it launched many musical careers. And
Hey kids, we used to wear things like this and listen to music on things like this.
that's pretty cool. So here's another person that some might know, Archie Grandpappy Campbell. And where I remember him from was Hee Haw. And
We're
here with Buck Owens.
If you kind of remember, he would sing,
That one song, something or other, and
I
then
think he found true love, and
she met another, and she was gone, and they would spit on each other. It was funny.
I kind of remember them popping up out of the corn
Yep.
and singing a little version.
So that's pretty cool. And Fiddling Fraser Moss. Now, a lot of these names I don't know. I don't know who these folks are. I'll be honest with you. Like John Hartford, Carlock Stewksbury. No, just don't know him. The fabulous Jimmy Driftwood. I do like his hat, though. That is pretty awesome hat.
I'd like to know if anybody has heard or ever seen a mouth bow. I've never seen a mouth bow, and apparently there's a picture of Carlock Stewksbury playing one.
Yeah. So that's cool.
What a name, Carlock Stewksbury. That
Yep.
sounds phenomenal.
Yeah, so there's a mouth bow. And then some, and Stephanie's like, oh my God. I don't know what she's, oh my God, but I'm pretty sure I have one of those canned hams at home, so I might have to attempt to make something like that. But it is pretty cool here. I mean, there's
Banjo and a hubcap.
hubcap. So pretty awesome. Like the stuff that they used for different sounds. And of course they used what they had. And this is going to prove my point of there's something cool in every museum. This is a jawbone fiddle. I mean, it's like Where else are you going to see one of those?
There's a picture of the guy playing it.
Yeah.
His old plow mule.
Yeah, this was a jaw from an old mule. Red Stewart, the Tennessee Waltz and how it came to be. That's pretty awesome. And you got Grandpa Jones. And there be his shotgun.
Ginseng hoe. He was a ginseng hoe.
Yeah. And Bill Monroe, father of bluegrass. They also have a thing in here on the Carter family.
That would be Johnny Cash's wife, June Carter Cash.
Yeah. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, so the Mountain Dulcimer, or at least I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
You are.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that either. But they're pretty cool.
And like I said earlier, every piece of artifact in here has its own history and its origins, where it came from, who owned it.
Yeah.
Odd and unusual and unique instruments from Appalachia.
Yeah, look at some of these. I mean, it's made out of a gourd. The cigar box fiddle.
A biscuit tin.
Stuff's really cool.
A toilet seat.
Yeah, look at that.
Bedpan.
Bedpan banjo. So there's a washboard band. You got like a cymbal and bells. Pretty much anything and everything to make a joyous noise. And we got a ukulele made of matchsticks. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Now, I unfortunately I don't know anything about fiddling Bob Douglas, but now I'm gonna have to look him up. Because this is
It's
all
from
kind of trophies and stuff.
the Squatchy Valley. It was an album.
Yeah, pretty awesome. I gotta look him up now. So we're not even halfway through this museum, inside, of course, and outside. And this is one of the best museums I've ever been in, I think.
We are enjoying and reading every story, and we highly recommend that you get down here.
Yeah, it could take a while to get through here, but we're showing you the highlights, and in the hopes that you come and visit it for yourself.
Appalachia Museum.
Yeah, pretty cool so far. So this is called the Devil. Well, it's pretty creepy, but this was the only thing here that was added was the eyeballs and horse teeth in the mouth. And this was a natural occurrence, formation on a walnut tree. So they spent 9 months, Russ and Nancy Ross, to build this ginormous basket for the museum. And just to give you an idea how big it actually is.
Well, she and a lot of people donated their older baskets, egg baskets, etc. here as well. But she made quite a few of these. They did, actually. That's a forerunner to pick up sticks. Can you imagine not moving one of those things when they were all lying down like that? Oh my goodness.
But this is, these were all whittled. And here's some creations by the Husky family of the Great Smoky Mountains. Hopefully you can see them.
I love it so much.
Yeah, look at that.
Jack and Sally. Another wood carvings.
That sounds like a John Mellencamp song, Jack and Sally. This is some really cool stuff. All made by Alex Stewart. And even with all of this, I thought it important to share that. So there's a lot of people around here that will tell you that I cured them when the regular doctors failed.
By giving them word of peace and love and a little carved gift.
So pretty awesome stuff. And here's old Uncle Billy Bilbrey's corn crib. This is where he would store his corn. So that's pretty awesome. There are several rat holes in the bottom. Okay, so keep this machine gun in your mind for about 2 seconds, because we also have Sergeant Alvin C. York. He was the greatest hero of World War I. Single-handedly, he silenced a German battalion of 35 machine guns, killing 25 enemy soldiers, and with the help of his squad, captured 132 prisoners. There's an early shotgun signed by his wife, Miss Gracie. So here we go. 3 mountain neighbors from Upper Cumberlands of Tennessee. We got Cordell Hall, the most productive of American statesmen of his time. Jim Smith, he lived in a cave and his worldly goods were but an armful. And of course, Sergeant Alvin York.
A few notes on old Cord and what he did. He rafted logs down the Cumberland River to Nashville in his youth. He was a lawyer at age 20. He was a state representative at age 21. He was an Army captain in the Spanish-American War. Circuit judge at age 31. U.S. congressman at age 35. Chairman, National Democratic Committee, 1920. Father of the graduated income tax law. U.S. Senator in 1930. Instrumental in Franklin D. Roosevelt's nomination for the presidency in 1932. Secretary of State 1933 to 1944. Wrote the inheritance tax laws. Affected the good neighbor policy with Latin America. Affected the International Reciprocal Trade Agreement, one of the most important agreements in the century. Father of the United Nations, folks. Awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1945. And the list goes on.
And here we go. Old Abe, carved from a buckeye tree by Wimp Gibson of Gibson Mountain.
That's beautiful. Oh, I love that little tiny washstand.
Yeah.
Oh, nice little folk art with the pine trees, and maybe it has 13 branches. I don't know.
I like the bearskin gloves.
Wow. Wow, fascinating.
Yeah,
Artifacts.
a lot of stuff here. Well, they actually have an upstairs too here, and but look at these quilts. Stephanie loves her quilts. Look at that smile.
And they're all have their own names. Friendship quilt, school quilt, murder quilt, which is hysterical. Dream quilt, friendship quilt.
Here's a Christmas quilt.
Christmas crazy.
Christmas quilt. Pretty awesome.
Mother's home in heaven.
Yep. And here's a hearse. Pretty creepy. The coffins underneath. There used to be a little ditty, but I'm not going to try to sing it because I can't remember it. It's like, do you ever think when a hearse, do you remember that, hon? Did you ever think when a hearse goes by that you might be the next to die? But then I don't remember. I think it goes to the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out. The ants play pinochle on your scalp.
Yeah.
Your brains turn into a slimy green, and pus comes out like whipping cream or something like that. Anyway,
It's really precious little kid ditty.
yeah, it's precious. Anyway, if you know the exact words and if you want to let us know, that'd be cool. So this coffin here was actually found floating in a cove of nearby Norris Lake. So that's kind of creepy. Plants and herbs for home doctoring. You probably get a lot better results out of this stuff than you would anything they're selling you in a pharmacy these days. There's a plant for every disease. If we just had sense enough to find the right ones, we'd never have to go to a doctor. And that's a quote from the great mountaineer Alex Stewart. And they got a pretty cool
Folk art collection.
Yeah. And look at that face.
Ooh. It's a state quilt, babe.
A what?
A state quilt.
Oh, yes, it is. And that stone head.
Oh, folk art.
Yeah.
Oh, bottle caps.
Yeah, that's cool.
Matchsticks.
Church.
Wood carvings. Oh, rag rugs. That looks like it's made out of newspaper and magazine. Cigarette packs. It's made out of cigarette packs.
That's cool. Pretty awesome.
That's stunning.
Yeah. So here's some of the pottery, and I'm sure in one of the videos that Steph and I did before, we mentioned how much we love and these face jugs.
Yeah, we appreciate the history of the face jugs.
Yeah, we do have a few, but they can get pretty pricey. So that's why we only have a few. But we do like face jugs a lot.
Plus, there's place and purpose.
Yes, place and purpose, and we're about out of places. Oh, look at that, the witch's clock. So I want to point out more about this clock, which is, it has like a warrior here with a shield and a sword. At the bottom, it has the likeness of the Grim Reaper. And then on the sides, which is going to be tough to see, it supposedly has a woman dancing and
Playing a harp.
yep. And apparently the Pied Piper, but I'm not seeing
That's
that.
up top.
Oh, that's up top?
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. So that's kind of cool. Barn Wine Cabin.
This is built in the 1800s.
Built in 1800. There's the bed. Soft spot in the floor. Different tools and the fireplace.
Wow.
So just, think about how people lived not that long ago. In fact, some people probably still pretty much live like this. And next time that you didn't get that new whatever thing, or you don't drive a BMW,
Go to a museum.
yeah, you don't need it. Here we go, the jail cells.
From 1874. It was a 6x9 foot cell. And they'd hold 4 prisoners each.
They'd hold 4 prisoners each, but you didn't have much room in there. Let me tell you. Nope, you wouldn't have had much room.
It's thick steel.
Yep. Now that wouldn't have been pleasant, I can tell you. It was a pretty warm day. And putting my hand on the ceiling, that ceiling's hot. So you pretty much would have baked in here. And to give you an idea,
And here, if you hand it here, I can show them.
yeah, I pretty much filled this up. Like there's no turning sideways. You're pretty much stuck like this.
Oh my goodness.
So it's pretty amazing that only 4 people fit in there, or that they would fit 4 people in there. Yeah, so there's the Bank of Madisonville bank vault door.
Wow.
It's pretty awesome. Lots of the old tools. And a log meat trough.
I wonder if that's where they put the body after they butchered it and then sorted out to cut it, let the blood drain.
It says it was used in times for storing and curing pork. Now check out this, like a little general store. Now see, all I picture is the Waltons,
Oh, I wish you
right,
all
going
could
into that little store.
I wish they could smell it in here. It smells like old wood, like an attic. It's just cured wonderfulness.
Yep. Well, it kind of smells like an old barn.
Yep.
And I always thought these were really cool too. And if I'm not mistaken,
Post office. Perhaps post office? Yep.
well, perhaps. Yep. Pretty awesome. Different guns. More tools. And that was actually a stool that was actually used by customers at an old corn mill in St. James in Greene County, which St. James is pretty close to our house. That's awesome. A lot of history here. So here's the next building we go into, which is Prepare to Meet God. This is the People's Building. Jesus is coming.
The folk art museum donated or dedicated to an individual who made these roadside cement sayings.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Let's go in here and take a look at this. The House of Many Crosses. This is an exact replica of the fabulous Harrison Mays house, built by son Clyde Mays. Harrison Mays, the coal miner who spread the word.
Let me know if our viewers agree with this or not.
Different photos. So Steph did ask you to let us know your opinion on this. I thought it only right that I share mine, and that looks like some kind of like one world order stuff to me, but I'd like everybody else's thoughts on it. We all have opinions, they all differ, and you know, who's to say I'm right, you're wrong, or you're right and I'm wrong? So this is the James Bunch exhibit. Now, check out this motorcycle. That is completely made of wood. This is also James Bunch exhibit. But you can see the different stuff. I like that clock back there hanging on the wall.
Wow, oh my goodness.
There's some talent right
Talent, the folk art.
there. So check out the size of this. That's
Weighing 3,000 pounds.
3,000 pounds, no kidding.
7 feet tall. Can hold 750 gallons of something.
Some moonshine. Woo! That's pretty cool. They do have some beautiful trees here. Or I guess that's not really a tree, it's a Rose of Sharon bush. Harness and saddle shop. So that's pretty cool. Now here's the Mark Twain family cabin.
I always wondered what these were in front of houses, and it's a stone that's cut into steps to get up on your horse.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
This one came from Kentucky.
So we have any Mark Twain fans out there? Leave me a comment below. And here's the family cabin. Now this was moved from Possum Trot to Fentress County. But pretty awesome.
Came from isolated area in Kentucky, yep. Oh, it's gorgeous in here.
And we found a kitty. Let's see if the kids remember the cat we had found that one time that looked like that, and we named it
OJ.
Caramel.
Oh, that's right.
Caramel. Caramel or caramel or however you want to pronounce it. Here we got the Bunch Smokehouse. That's pretty cool. And then the General Bunch House.
In cabin standards for Appalachia, these are well-to-do families. They were organized and not as primitive as you'd think.
Yeah, this is pretty nice here.
That's where you kept your garden tools, apparently.
Keeping the garden tools. Now check out this.
There is that.
Yep. You remember what it was?
No.
It was a chunk out of a
600-year-old or 1,000-year-old
poplar.
poplar.
Yeah.
It actually, the poplar, before it burnt down, housed a homeless person, and he accidentally set the tree on fire, and they were able to save a chunk.
Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. Not awesome that it got burned down, but awesome that they at least could save a chunk of it. Now this is the McClone house. Get all the canned goods, fireplace. Old creepy doll.
This house was used to treat soldiers during the Civil War as a hospital.
Huh. It's pretty awesome. Let's go check out the other side. And Stephanie loves stuff like that, that photo.
And the weaving bench.
Yeah.
Loom.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And so this door, now here Stephanie's gonna take the camera and she,
It's actually reminiscent of the old doors we had in our old house.
I'd really have to duck to get through that door.
It's a sign of humility.
Well, they were shorter back then. Now, one of my favorite I always thought was really cool, the Blacksmith Shop. Always like those. And then the bellows to fire up get your fire going nice and hot.
The center of this building, so the outside was used as a blacksmith shop, but the center of it was a wheelwright shop. So
That's
making
cool.
all your wagon wheels.
Yep. Another one of Steph's favorite things.
Well, yeah.
Brooms.
Brooms and wagon wheels and wood.
Now she's gonna want me to buy her a broom winder. Or a broom clamp. So that's cool. Cool stuff.
Yeah, I have several examples of brooms that we had made for us in Williamsburg and
Yep.
Bedford, Old Bedford Village in Pennsylvania.
Cool stuff in here. Doc Randall's Old Medicine Show. Pills, tonic, and music. It's one of them. Come one, come all. It'll cure your hair loss and all kind of other things. So that's pretty cool. And we got the hen house here with some chickens out there. We ain't getting too close at the moment.
This is a one room, dirt floored structure that was used in the 20th Century Fox movie as frontier home of Daniel Boone when it was a TV series called Young Daniel Boone. The cabin was built in the New River section of Anderson County, 1800s, and it was fully furnished with the earliest frontier pioneer artifacts.
So we're gonna go take a peek inside of this.
It was used in an actual TV series.
Yeah, that's cool. It was used in a TV series. And it does have a dirt floor. Very rustic. I don't remember that TV series. If any of our viewers out there do, if you could leave a comment saying, hey, I remember it and it was cool or it was stupid or whatever, let us know. This is to be the sheep pen. I ain't seen any sheep, but there are some chickens back down there and couple goats. So maybe we'll find the sheep in a little bit.
Big Tater Valley Schoolhouse
Tater Valley. Big Tater Valley.
on Bull Run Creek between the Union of Granger counties. It's completely furnished in the manner of an early mountain school. You know what the outhouse?
Well,
Oh, a boys and a girls outhouse, it looks like.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was the teachers and the children's.
maybe. I can honestly say I would have rather went to school here than where I went to school.
Julietta?
Susquehanna.
Yes, Anita.
Or we used to call it Suckanita. Horrible. So this is pretty cool. Rules of conduct for teachers. There you go. Treat others the same way you want to be treated. So pretty awesome. So this is Irwins Chapel log church at the old time.
1840s.
Yep, the old steeple up there. So pretty awesome here. One thing I always like to do when I go into a church like this and then I can walk in, I like to look to see what either the Bible's open to or that kind of thing. So at any rate, this hymn book is open to Jesus, What a Friend for Sinners. And are you washed in the blood? There's power in the blood. I always look at that thinking maybe it'd have a message for myself or somebody who's watching. Maybe one of those means something to somebody. Here's some goats. They have a lot of animals here, like goats, chickens. They're supposed to have sheep, which are pretty cool. And of course they have some gardens here where they have a bunch of stuff planted. And I'm pretty sure I saw a donkey too, which we'll try to get him on film here in a little bit. And they also have peacocks here, which are pretty cool. I don't know how close he's gonna let me get, but we'll see. I'm just gonna act like I'm not even noticing him. Looks like he found some bugs in that log. So he's pretty awesome, isn't he?
He's drinking.
Yeah, there's a little puddle in there. How you doing, buddy? You getting a drink? Yep, he's getting a drink. So that's pretty awesome that they have them here. You can hear them a lot. They make a lot of noise. You can see some of them down there. So, gotta go to the bathroom. This is John's John. There we go. And that's about what most of them look like, full of spiders and other kind of crazy stuff. Now, cool little story is the house that Steph and I used to live in Newport, Pennsylvania, actually had an outhouse until 1986. And this was the loom house where they have a loom set up. So that's kind of cool. So we got to speed this video up because the thunder is rumbling, but I had to come up here and show you. This is, to me, this is the coolest thing here. Popcorn Sutton's Whiskey Still. They actually have two stills in here. I don't know that they're both Popcorn Suttons, but yeah, that there's awesome. There's a hog scalding kettle. And here's the sawmill. This is pretty awesome. And it's still in operation. It was rebuilt and operated by Joe Deal Sr. in West Knox County, Tennessee. So as a kid, and I'll have to ask my dad this, but I believe that's the Farmall Tractor that my grandfather had. He could tell me if I'm full of mud, but from my memory, it looks like it. So that's awesome. And check out that guy. Pretty cool looking. And at any rate, it's saying keep out, blah blah blah. So, but there's a mill over there, which is pretty cool. That looks like they're redoing some of that area over there. So we're not going to be able to get a really good shot of that. But this guy's like, hey, look at me. I'm cool. And so hope you enjoy him anyway. So, what do you think of the museum?
Of Appalachia.
Yep, of Appalachia.
Loved it.
Or Appalachia, depending on who you are.
Loved it. My favorite thing was the Hall of Fame Museum.
Yeah.
It was like a museum within a museum within a museum. And my other favorite thing was the folk art that we got to see. And the gardens and the animals and
Yeah.
all the cabins that have been moved there, all the personal histories that we read. I don't know, I just loved it all.
Yeah, and we actually did meet a nice couple that were camera shy, but they're from West Virginia. And
it was ironic, we ran into them later on in the day.
Yeah.
It was wonderful, wonderful. Meant to be on our path.
Yep. I wish I could, I would have caught their names, but they were a great couple anyway.
That's what we do. We really meet a lot of wonderful, wonderful people doing what we do. And we hope that our family and our friends enjoy the videos that we put out. We enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
And we would hope that, they can live vicariously through us, see things through our eyes.
But yeah, that museum, I would say one of the better museums I've ever been in.
Well done. Well done. And I understand it was a subsidiary or aligned somehow with the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
So it was really, really well done, well maintained.
Mm-hmm.
Staff in the museum was wonderful. It was an admission fee, and you got a wrist bracelet, and they gave you a map.
Yeah, it was $18 for adults. They did give a discount for AAA members, veterans, seniors, and children. Of course, were less. But
well worth it.
Yep.
We recommend, if you've got kids, be prepared to take your time. And there's so much to see and do. And when you don't have your kids with you, come back.
Yeah.
It's something that you want to see so that you can really take your time and do a lot of reading, self-guided tours through the cabins.
So when we got there, we actually went to, they have a little cafe inside. And so we actually went to the cafe and got ourselves some lunch. We split a sandwich.
And a bowl of soup.
Which we got the vegetable soup and the chicken salad sandwich.
And chicken salad was freshly made, homemade, and on homemade bread, which was lovely.
Yeah. There was a piece of cornbread with that also.
That's right.
And
there was fresh flowers on the table.
Yep. And the soup actually was like they picked the stuff fresh out of the garden and put it in the soup. It was really good. Unfortunately, and this is only the second time I've ever had this happen, after filming all of that and going through actually the 3 outbuildings, the SD card in the camera decided it was going to have an error and erased everything. So
sometimes that happens.
Right. So, it was a little difficult to go back and eat another lunch. So we just kind of skipped over that part and started again with the rest of it. And
but we wanted to let you know that their little cafe
is really good
and very quaint.
Yeah.
And very small menu.
And that was $11 and then 28 cents or 25 cents.
But the sandwich and the soup for Lee and I was enough to split.
Yeah.
And to keep us comfortable and nourished through the day.
Yeah, so if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And until next time, before we have a Steph-N-Lee day, thank you so much for watching, everybody. And have a Steph-N-Lee day.